Hi everyone, welcome to the Nerds of Combat podcast. Today we're doing the Halloween special that was horribly, planned, but we're here. We're here with Admin Gara,
Hey,
Admin Georgie, or sorry, Admin Batman, fuck,
What up?
Admin Static,
What's going on?
and then Admin Nuclear Lantern.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Is that how you feel about it? Yeah. Okay. So since it's
Today
all...
my name is Admin. I shouldn't have fucking answered the phone.
Okay. Well, today we're going to be talking about basically everything horror related because, it's Halloween. So the first topic I have here is what makes a good horror movie in our opinions. Andrew, you seem to be the most well prepared for this, so why don't you take it from the top?
Yeah, I know, right?
uh, as a horror movie fanatic, to be honest, there's no such thing as a good horror movie. That's what I'm gonna say.
Right?
Yeah, well, what is your opinion as a serial killer?
What do you mean? I ain't killed nobody yet.
You're killing this podcast.
Wow. Okay, Georgie, what do you think makes a good horror movie?
A good antagonist.
A good
The good guy's always gonna be the good guy, overcoming good. We need somebody that's really and truly evil.
Okay. Static, what's yours?
Well, for me, it boils down to three things. Great practical effects,
Right.
Hey, you mind turning that down?
lighting,
It's not on Joey's
and
side at the moment.
huh?
Lighting's not on Joey's side at the moment.
But no, good practical effects, lighting, and actually, I forgot the third one. What did I say what the third one was? I forget. Score. Yeah, musical score.
So,
Like the music. Yeah, good musical score, lighting, and
Yeah,
great practical effects.
musical
Like,
score for sure.
I need those three things to seal a horror movie.
Joey, what about
I
you?
can agree with two of those.
I don't know, man. For me, I've actually been binge watching like a lot of anthologies lately, because obviously that's the promo for the month. And I've come to the conclusion that like I'm at a place in life right now where the things that appeal to me in horror movies are when the movie's not focused on jump scares, right? When the movie or the series has moved away from that, and they focus a lot more on actually revealing like the demon, the creature, the serial killer, whatever the antagonist is, like they're
Yeah.
you see them, they're very active throughout the film. Uh, and of course, directing at all times, man. I personally appreciate practical effects over digital effects, uh, or when there's a mixture of both, obviously. But practical effects will always be number one to me. So, for me, that's really what it is. As far as like the antagonists themselves, I like it when they're an active antagonist. I mean, like when they have like dialogue. Like that was one of the things I always thought made Freddy pretty good. Freddy was someone who spoke a lot. So
Speaking is a little, that's more of an understatement for him. That motherfucker.
That's a good point though. Good dialogue.
That motherfucker talked.
See, mine's kind of different. What I really enjoy about good horror movies, like I prefer, is like when the antagonist is there, but they never reveal it till like the pinnacle. Like it's the proper build-up, right? We got the musical score going, then it's like they finally reveal it. It's like an Alien where like you see the creature, but you never see it in its full glory until like the end, and then it's like, holy shit, that's what this thing is. Like just all this, build-up. I think that's what makes a pretty good horror movie. Like,
So kind of
I
like
give you 10 more years, nigga. 10 more years, it's gonna be boring as shit to you, man.
so like the thing.
yeah, like, well, kind of like,
The thing was
The
throughout
first
the
Alien
movie, though.
movie?
yeah, the first Alien movie, you don't see the xenomorph like full body till like near the end.
Or
Even the first
what
Predator
was it?
movie.
Friday the 13th, right? Friday the 13th. Actually,
Mhm.
Friday the
Jason
first
didn't
one,
show
yeah.
up to the end.
Well,
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier with with my woman that Alien isn't like it's a horror movie.
This podcast is not about your fucking positive relationship. Get the earlier when I was talking to my woman, she spoke back to me. Nothing scary about that.
Earlier, I was talking to my headphones. Like,
But no, so like, Andrew, you said you don't think anything is like you can't say. What was it you specifically said? Like, you don't think there's such thing as a good horror movie, is it, or something similar to that? Why is that?
Yeah, it's complicated. It's such a big genre that it's hard to place exactly what makes a horror movie good because there's so many subgenres of horror that you can't really say one defining thing makes a horror movie good. That's all I'm thinking.
I can when the nigga doesn't die first.
Thank you.
Check out the movies. If you want a horror movie where the black guy survives, check out The Cave. He's the last one alive.
Don't watch no horror movie. Don't watch no horror movie with Samuel Jackson in it.
Oh Lord.
He did.
He died in the first.
Deep Blue Sea, am I right?
Misdirection is always a good thing too in a horror movie.
I think I'm more thriller than horror, me myself though. I would take a psychological thriller over a horror any day.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying, but a psychological thriller would take different. It would be good in different aspects than like a slasher horror movie would be good.
What's everyone's favorite subgenre of horror?
You said
What's everyone's what?
Favorite subgenre of horror. Like, how there's like ocean horror with like,
There's so many.
Yeah, like what's
Damn, this is right.
I'm sure there is like.
I don't think I have one. I think as long as the movie wasn't shitty, like as long as the directing wasn't bad, the casting wasn't bad. Because for me, casting can kill a movie too, man. Like, and that's just in general, like. So I think whichever one was good, as long as it was good, I'm with it.
I'll answer, but you go first, Static. You go first.
For me, I think sci-fi horror would probably be the best route for myself. It's just either sci-fi horror or just what you mentioned earlier, Thor, ocean horror. Like those are two aspects that, as human beings, we have yet to explore any good amount of percentage of. We don't know what the fuck is down there and what the fuck is up there, and you come up with all kinds of shit for it. So, those were the unknown is the scariest thing.
Yeah. Georgie, what about you?
What are you doing?
Georgie, what about you? What's your favorite subject?
Oh, I'm sorry. His camera distracted me. Nah, for me, I don't know what subgenre this falls under, but movies like Paranormal Activity.
Oh, found footage?
Yeah.
I like those types of movies. Those, for me, are the most down-to-earth horror. Like, the fear of the unknown is a good thing, but I'm also a fan of things that are a little more tangible. Something that can really happen to me tomorrow. Like, okay, aliens coming from space and killing the Earth is amazing, but it's probably not going to happen tomorrow. But maybe me moving into a house that 1 million people got killed in and those spirits are now haunting us, like, that seems more tangible and more scary, I guess, is the best way I can put it.
I can tell you don't stay near Mexican border.
Andrew, what's your favorite subgenre?
Before I answer, are you going to ask what our least favorites are too?
Yes, yeah, there's going to be least favorites.
Okay, so my favorite is just pure cold-blooded slashers. I love watching teenagers getting murdered, bro.
Okay.
There ain't nothing better than someone with a giant machete or knife just slicing people up.
Oh,
dead on, Andrew. See, my favorite one's probably ocean horror because I have I think it's called phallosphobia, which is literally like fear of deep bodies of water. So like deep bodies of water are already a thing, but the thing that explores it more just makes me shit myself.
There's no way out. You're at the bottom of the ocean in the laboratory.
Like, have you seen like there's so much simple things that can just fuck you up. I can't even remember what it's called. It's like like the fucking underwater currents. Like, see the moment one of them takes you, that's it. Like you're just getting shifted into the ocean no matter what. Like, but yeah, no. Okay, so what's everyone's least favorite then? Static.
My least favorite would probably be the one that Georgie mentioned with the whole camera and like, all that. Like I hate that. I hate it.
That's fair.
Like
A lot of people hate that one.
It's just it's too much for my old eyes to handle. Like,
nigga, you like 48.
No,
What have I
I already
got?
wear glasses. I don't need to keep track with the camera and everything. And like, just kind of like how Joey mentioned earlier. Like, I like to see the antagonist. I don't want to see all this screen shaking and shit to where like I can't make out what this creature is until the last 5 minutes of the movie when it's laying on the ground dead. Like, I don't want that.
I'm gonna add to his real quick before we ask the next person. Is found footage is a really in the middle one for horror fans. Like, there's a lot of people that really love it and a lot of people that think it's the worst subgenre of horror, because partly what you're saying is the motion part is just so, sometimes it's so stupid you can't even see anything.
Yeah.
And it kind of defeats it. It's like you're not even watching a movie.
Like, I can understand at certain points, but the entire movie, I can't do it.
But then at the same time, is if it's done right, if they do a found footage really good, it's arguably some of the best horror that there is. Like, the Blair Witch Project is probably one of the best horror movies ever, just for the fact that they did it so well.
Yeah.
See, that on to that, right? I think like some of my favorite horror movies are found footage, but they're not like traditional found footage. They're like mockumentaries, basically, which is like, there's found footage mixed in with interviews, like, real interviews with people when it obviously isn't. Like, there's the Pike Speed tapes. I think that's how you pronounce that. I can't even remember. Lake Mungo, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, is a like mockumentary, and then Creep is a found footage one that's just like really, really good. Like, if anyone's watched Creep, it's literally like anything like that can happen to anyone.
That's one of the most underrated movies in horror, right there.
Yeah,
Creep.
like, there's like a
You
trilogy
said
of it.
Creep?
Yeah, so like just to break it down, right, it's literally something that can happen to anyone, because it probably has happened where somebody has like said, "Hey, do you want to come and record like my last moments of life so I can like give it to my son?" And then all of a sudden it's revealed like the dude is a complete like stalker. He's doing all these fucked up things to get into your head. He's a serial killer. Blah 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 blah. But it's like it breaks down really slowly throughout the movie to be like, holy shit, this could really happen to anyone, because he seemed like such a nice guy. And the later on ones it like delves into like the character more. But no, it's like literally this could happen to anyone, because I'm sure anyone's read a horror thing. Oh, there's magic.
This guy.
Man, I know what movie you're talking about. It was like it's like two brothers, right? That made that.
Yeah, it is.
It's a subgenre, right?
Yeah.
Okay, like they made that whole genre between them, and then I know about it's three of them, I think. It's three movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
I
I
can't
know
remember
exactly.
much of the.
I'm not into mocking. I'm sorry, not mock. I'm not into the found footage thing. Not for me at all.
Understandable.
I think Blair Witch is like an acclaimed found footage, because if I understand right, it basically created the genre, right?
Yeah, it was the first.
Pause.
I think.
Pause. Georgia, you're wrong. Pause.
Really?
The first found footage movie, realistically, is called Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh, shut up.
But we won't go there. But that was found footage, technically. But that movie
Oh,
is a whole
major.
nother level.
Is that
The first major one was Blair Witch Project, though.
Is that the movie where like they're on this island with a bunch of savages and they mess with the women and the tribe comes after them or something like that?
They're in South America, and it is not good.
You
Don't
sound like
don't
you're away
watch
from
it.
your mic, Static.
You said what?
You sound real low all of a sudden. Oh, that's because we have a Magic came in. Okay.
Yeah, Magic.
Magic then fucked up the audio.
I think he's fixing up his shit on his end.
Yeah.
But no, like, as Andy
It might be
said,
because he got his camera off. Because
yeah. Hopefully he sets it up
I don't know.
properly.
Yeah, but I'm not into the found footage thing, man. I'm not into it. I think Andrew hit it right on the nail. It's not for everybody, mostly because of the. I'm not that whole like that feeling as I'm watching the film and I'm like, yo, why don't you turn it left? I don't get that feeling when I'm watching something else I know is following a particular form of directing, versus like when you're holding the camera and then you have me feeling like you're refusing to put the camera where it needs to be at the time. Not feeling that. And that's not to say I never watched a good, not to say I never watched a good found footage film. I mean, there was that film where it was like they went overseas or whatever and went into like the sewers and the city with the bones, and it was basically a play on. It was basically like a play on the 9 levels of hell or whatever. So that movie was probably the best I've ever seen when it comes to found footage, but it's not something I jump at, man. I first off, I wouldn't jump toward like the teen murder movies either. Like I don't like films that waste like a bunch of runtime on like sex scenes. Like this just I'm not interested in it at all. First off, these are underage motherfuckers you're trying to make me believe are going at it. I don't want to see that. I don't care. Yeah.
What was I gonna say there? Fuck, what was I gonna say there? Georgie, what's your least favorite subgenre? I'll come back.
The ones where the black person dies first. Still.
That's not a subgenre.
No, that has to be because it happens too often.
That's a trope, not a subgenre.
I'm gonna be honest. That hasn't happened. I haven't seen that in a horror movie in a long time.
Thank you.
Because we kept complaining about the shit.
I was gonna say that is the
No,
most.
that's actually not true.
What up, Magic?
What was it? I think the Babysitter movie, right? That Netflix Babysitter stuff. They made fun of it actually.
Really?
They made fun of it in a lot of comedy
Babysitter.
I remember.
I don't think horror comedies count.
See, my biggest issue with found
It's a
footage.
subgenre.
I figured that my biggest issue with found footage isn't that they're not turning the camera. It's why are you holding the camera in this situation?
Right.
Like,
I don't like it. I don't like the found footage stuff because it's basically the equivalent of trying to watch a street fight on Facebook while the cameraman has the phone in his pocket.
You stupid, in his pocket.
Like some of it is done really well where it makes sense why they're holding it, right? So like not just in horror movies, right? Let's talk about like horror games and stuff, right? In Outlast, they make it a requirement for you to have that camera because shit's pitch black and that shit only means a light. Like it makes sense, but other things is just like, why are you holding that? If somebody tells you have to start to record everything, okay, sure, but this thing's running at me, I may as well chuck the camera.
Right.
Like,
As soon as something happens,
like
you're not gonna
the
hold
one-
on to that shit.
I like the ones where they flip back and forth in the directing style.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you know what?
That's
now that I'm
dope.
thinking about it, the best one I've seen was where they did that. It's a movie where like this dude basically plays it being like an exorcist or something like that. Like he plays it being one, and then he goes like to this place in Louisiana, like in the back in the swamps or whatever, and it's this chick's mom. And
I know what you're talking about. Is this where
that
like
movie
this
was
like
so good,
it's
so
like
good.
like,
But they went back and forth between the directing styles. One minute it was that third person view, and then the next minute it was from the perspective of the cameraman. Really good movie.
Magic came on camera looked like somebody's uncle or daddy or something. What y'all doing in here? What y'all doing up in here? keep all that goddamn noise down.
Take your ass to bed.
Y'all better leave Magic alone before you start telling you his inmate number.
Imagine like he just got fresh out with his wife beater on.
Okay, so that's gonna go ask him the question then. Magic, what is your least favorite?
Yo, are you in this podcast with us, or are you about to make a spread?
Terrible.
He looked like he was reaching for like the trash bag, the noodles, and the sausage.
like somebody's uncle that just got fresh out.
Yo, where's the bitches at, man? Where's the bitches at? Man, hey, yo, man, I know I need them socks and them underwear, dog. I need socks and underwear. What did you say?
What is your least favorite subgenre of horror? I
It's funny because I was like, man, I hate seeing black people die, but that's a trope.
You say you
I
hate
don't know,
seeing
man. It's
people
just,
We mentioned that twice.
I don't know, man. It just, I don't know. I don't like a lot of tropes more than genres. Like, I don't like the white woman falling and the killer's like 5 feet away, and it's like, bitch, get up. Black people die in the movies first. Um, always going to hide in the most stupidest of places. Oh yeah, let's hide in the garage where there's like 1,000,001 chainsaws, and that's where the killer is. Like, it's
Okay.
like
So Magic's least favorite subgenre of horror is horror. Okay.
All right.
You know
we'll
what?
go with that. We'll go with that.
To add on to that, I think like there's a really good movie. Has any of you watched Green Room? It's counted as a horror film. It's about like a rock band that gets like isolated by a bunch of like.
Oh, the
neo-Nazis.
Nazis.
Yeah, the Nazis.
Yeah.
Like literally the whole point of that is the Nazis are really really smart and the teens are trying to outsmart them, and then they
Oh,
win.
it had Patrick Stewart in it,
Yeah,
right?
as the main.
Yeah,
Nazi,
really, really good movie. Really
Like
good movie.
what I find funny
You
is
know,
like
there's another one that I think it's a Netflix film that has Alexandria Daddario in it. Just came out not that long ago.
Yeah.
That movie was really good with the fake cult thing.
Oh,
That was really good.
You talking about, is it the Vow?
Hmm?
The Vow?
pretty sure it is.
I'm not sure what it was called, bro. I'm not sure what it was called.
Oh, the mother.
It was really good though, man. It had basically all the old movie tropes in it, and it delivered really good on it. Like it had modern day directing with like all these really old tropes put into one movie. It was really good. It nailed every trope, like really tastefully. It was really good. I would suggest you all watch it. The only thing
what was
that's
the-
really memorable about it for me is Alexandria Daddario.
But no, as I was saying, like the thing I liked about Green Room is that what Magic was saying was, oh, he hates characters doing stupid things. The way people win in Green Room is to stop trying to outsmart the group of Nazis and just do insane shit that they wouldn't expect, and they manage to get out. Like that's literally what happens, because like right at the end, Patrick Stewart's just like, how the fuck, and he just like completely shuts down and walks away because he doesn't expect any of this to happen. He just gets shot because he tried to outsmart a bunch of insane idiots. Right. But yeah, like, okay, so we talked about like sub-horror genres and stuff. What's everyone's opinion on horror games?
You said what?
Horror games. Like, does anyone play
What?
them? Horror games?
Horror game.
Like Friday the 13th?
No, these are games. Like
More like Dead Space or Alan Wake.
I was asking myself Dead Space and Outlast.
I am not gonna lie, I don't care for any of those games. I'm gonna be absolutely honest
I like
with
the
you.
Dead Space series. That was
Dead Space
That was
is my
different.
favorite horror. Like,
That's my favorite too.
Like it is the pinnacle horror.
yeah, like Dead Space. I like the Manhunt series.
Oh, Manhunt was brutal.
Yeah.
So.
For me, it was definitely Outlast. Outlast is probably
So do I put
the
everything
best
back?
horror game that I have experienced. If Resident Evil didn't go down the path they went down, I probably would say Resident Evil or possibly Silent Hill. But Outlast.
Resident Evil was good, actually.
Outlast is at least until the end of it. Outlast 1, during that whole game, you're basically playing a horror movie. Like you're inside of a horror movie.
Yeah, and piggyback off the Resident Evil thing, like Resident Evil was good in the beginning when it was about being scary and it was a horror intensified thing, and that stopped at like 3.
You mean like it was good when it was about zombies.
Yeah, and then from 4 on, it's like, oh yeah, we're dealing with bioterrorism and being an action game, and it's like, no.
Yeah, they're on their way to throwing Galactus in there and shit.
But no, they came back with 7 though. They went back
I
to
was
their
gonna
roots
say
with
7 kind of went backwards.
And then we're gonna
Yeah,
see
because they realized they went too far.
then we're gonna see
And
what-
8 should be the same.
Yeah, because it's based off the Ethan Wood story from 7. Technically, it's not meant to be Resident Evil 8. It's just meant to be Resident Evil 7, the sequel. Okay, so
I'm not gonna lie, man. That VR Resident Evil was pretty creepy.
That was Resident Evil 7.
Yeah,
Pretty
the
creepy.
one that
I only experienced it in the VR. It's pretty creepy.
Okay, so we've talked about like subgenres and all that stuff, but we haven't really talked about like the actual characters in horror. So, what's everyone's favorite horror protagonist? So, like the lead, not the killer, not like the monster or whatever. Like.
Oh
I mean,
god.
but that's the best part, though. I mean, nobody cares about the protagonist.
I mean, like I can name you one right off the top of my head.
Final girls are good though.
Like, okay, so the number one for me is Ash Williams.
Ooh,
Yeah, he's a final girl.
Dang it, now I gotta change mine to my second choice.
He's good. Well, no, everyone's fine to have one. I can name a good few off the top of my head. Static, what's your one?
Well, my first one was indeed Ash, but now that you can fuck that up, Ethan Hawke from Sinister is my other one.
Oh yeah, he was an interesting character, but he made some wrong decisions in that movie.
He was
Sinister's ass.
I like it.
Wrong.
Clarice from the Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah,
For me.
Sinister was like, for a long time, I felt like horror movies lost that niche, but Sinister brought that old school horror feeling back, and that's why I liked it so much.
Sinister is trash like the price of candy at the theater.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't eat candy, nigga.
I thought everyone bought that at the store and then went to the theater.
I mean,
Yeah, but some of them
any
get
price
smart.
that
You
you
can't
would
do it
find in the
anymore.
theater past the tickets, period. Sinister is that kind of trash.
I can't agree there. I cannot.
We all make mistakes, bro. That didn't have to be yours.
Well,
I mean, like, funny enough, I don't know if anyone's read the article yet, but apparently, scientifically speaking, Sinister is the scariest horror movie out there.
I saw that.
Yeah,
It is?
yeah. Scientifically speaking, it is the scariest horror movie out there.
I've seen better jump scares in Pumpkinhead.
Okay, well, I don't know about that one either, but we'll go over that later. We'll go over most scary later.
I don't know. I don't think Sinister can just beat the classics though. Like I don't know, man. That's I mean, even going back to Alfred Hitchcock and shit with the horror films, and it's just like I don't know if that could beat any of those jump scares.
Birds aren't scary, bro. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not scared of a fucking crow, dude.
Yeah. One second.
I'll be picking my
What if
eyes
the
out.
crow was
I'm not
trying to kill
scared,
you?
dude. Fuck that bird.
What if the crow was trying to kill you?
Well, I think the word
It's trying to kill me. I'm not scared of this bird.
I think the word to look at there
Imagine,
is
like, so
bird,
you telling
not
me,
birds.
and this wasn't just crows though. This was like all birds in general, whether they were on screen or not. So like you telling me if you was in Africa and a big old flock of ostriches was ganging up on you, you wouldn't be scared?
I
Nigga,
would
if
be.
he was
That's
in
different.
Africa,
The
he'd have a
movie,
lot
the
more
birds
than
didn't
birds
have
to be scared
ostriches
of.
running at people.
Okay, how about if you was walking down the street and a group of bald eagles started attacking
I
you?
said bald eagles too, man. You could be living in the mountains.
Yo, why does the lightest nigga in here mention bald eagles? The most unmelanated bird in this.
Shut the fuck up, yo.
them shoe bills.
I'm just saying, we got vultures, we got bald eagles, we got hell, even a flock of goddamn pigeons. Shit. The
Yeah,
fuck?
pigeons are serious if they big enough. You ever seen the pigeons in New York?
To be honest, I'm more scared of birds shitting on me than I am of the bird.
Right,
I'm scared that I'm gonna get pooed on by a bird, dude.
You say that till you say that till you get the raptor claws get snatched your ass up.
I gotta give it to you.
Not about bird fear. Okay.
Andrew sounds like a nigga who will survive a bird attack. I'm totally sure by the way he's talking that he'll survive a bird attack.
Let's bring it back to the topic. And
Let's bring it back.
What we need to talk about?
No.
What horror movie antagonist is the best,
Yeah,
or
we're
which
gonna-
Yeah,
one
that's
was the
next.
cheesiest?
That's next.
That's the next one. Don't worry.
That's the one I'm ready for.
Okay.
Okay, well,
calm
what's
down.
your favorite protagonist?
Oh
one
God,
knows.
protagonists suck. What's
I
his
don't know,
name?
like I said,
Wait.
Nah, you know what is a good protagonist?
Wait, did everybody go through their antagonists already?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't
We're doing
have one
protagonists
to give.
first, and then we're doing
Yeah.
antagonists.
Finish the antagonist first.
Yeah. So, Andrew, who's your favorite protagonist?
Oh no, you know what? You know what? The moms. You know those movies, the horror movies where the
This
mom
nigga.
always has to like fucking save the day.
Yeah, sure.
I guess those movies tend to be more decent. You know.
Andrew, what about yours?
Okay, so favorite like survivor, right?
Yeah.
Or hero.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely Sydney from the Scream movies. That bitch is a legend, dude.
Yo,
I don't
yeah.
care what anybody says. She made the wrong choices in the movie and still survived. No one does that in horror.
That's true.
She had sex. She went up the stairs. You know, she did all the things wrong, and she still made it out all 4 movies, dude.
Next one of you ninjas mention a movie as bad as Scream. I hope you have diarrhea when this is
Oh
over.
my. Scream was a good series. That wasn't in the beginning. 1 and 2 were great. It started to go downhill after 3.
I mean,
Okay, anyway, continue. Let's move on.
Magic. What
Ah.
about
like I said, Clarice from the Silence of the Lamb movies, the Losers Clubs from It.
Damn, you took my answer, Magic. You motherfucker, bitch.
Hey man, that's what I do.
No,
Anyway.
no one said Laurie Strode though, or Ellen
you?
Ripley.
You know, I actually.
She's
want
trash,
to-
Lori.
Like I have one more,
I have
but
one
I
more
don't
as
know. I don't know if I can put it as the movie was too funny to be considered a horror for me. Which I like Bert from Tremors.
Oh. To be fair.
So, like,
Okay. Next.
Anyways,
Oh, well then if that's the case, if we're doing some cheesy shit, Ernest from all the movies Ernest was in, then
oh,
that's the
Ernest.
No. Alright.
No, let's move on. Let's move on.
I'm going to change mine from Ash Willems to Ambrose from Late Phases. Has anyone watched Late Phases? It is the most craziest horror movie ever. A blind man moves into like this cul-de-sac, like forced to move into this cul-de-sac by his kids, right? And then a werewolf kills his like guide dog, and then he figures out who the werewolf is, and then kills like 6 werewolves. A blind man does this, and he's like literally watch Late Phases. It's such a good horror movie. Like I cannot understand it. Georgie, who's your favorite protagonist?
You said protagonist.
Protagonist.
To piggyback off of what Magic said, but I wasn't gonna say all the kids from It. Just Georgie's older brother. He was a good one for me. The rest of the other kids in the gang, they were all kind of suckers.
Georgie's other.
I just like the older brother.
Debatable.
He was a good leader.
I think he tried
was
the
able to
hardest.
bring
I
him-
don't think he was the best. Maybe he just had the most motivation.
That's what I'm saying. He had the most will and motivation, and he was able to lead that group even when they were in their worst and pull them out of there.
I thought the black guy led the group in the first series and in the book though, because he's the one that stayed in
I'm
Derry.
talking about the movie. I didn't read the book.
Well, then get out.
Oh, so you missed out on the gangbang. All right.
Yeah.
Hold on, Joey. Don't try
Let's not mention that. Let's.
She basically
We
turned
gotta be able to do it together. And yeah, no.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Stephen fucking King.
Let's talk
This
about
nigga
the
Joey
one
was
we
like-
talk about.
This nigga Joey ain't got no live stream etiquette whatsoever. He just showing everybody his fucking booger shoots and shit.
Okay, let's talk about the one that everyone wants to talk about.
No, I know you're not talking. You sitting there dragging and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not showing my booger shoots.
You talking about, boy?
Um, let's talk about the one everyone wants to talk about, the antagonists.
I want to hear everyone else first.
Magic
Freddy
User.
Krueger.
No,
Nah,
man.
you win.
Wishmaster.
Oh, man,
Wishmaster
you
is
got my
the
Wishmaster.
best.
Freddy
Yeah,
Krueger.
Wishmaster is the best, man. This
Oh,
ain't
he's
debatable.
Okay.
Jeepers Creepers for me.
Yeah, Wishmaster was on my list.
Okay.
Jeepers Creepers, Witchmaster. You picked a lame one out of Freddy Krueger. The nigga that all you gotta do is wake up for.
Nigga, but who wakes up?
Shit.
I mean, like the moment you figure out
The nigga was
Oh,
better than
Texas Chainsaw. What's his name from Texas Chainsaw? He was decent.
the cannibal.
Leatherface.
Leatherface?
Yeah, he was alright.
He was generic as hell. Like, why you gotta? The lightest nigga in here picked a generic motherfuckers. I swear to God.
No. Georgie picked the dumbest one out of all of them. Like literally,
Nah.
like intelligence. Leatherface is the dumbest one.
Like, as long as you realize, and then you pick Freddy Krueger. As long as you realize you control the dream, nigga, the nigga can't beat you. Like,
But
Yeah,
again,
I don't know.
whoever
Dream
realizes
Warriors
that,
tried
bro.
that.
Witchmaster and Pumpkinhead, definitely some of the greatest horror movie creations
You
ever.
said Pumpkinhead.
Who the fuck?
Pumpkinhead is
Hobgoblin, you
underrated.
mean? You talking about Hobgoblin, nigga?
No, Pumpkinhead would eat Hobgoblin, bro.
No, I know who Pumpkinhead is. He's trash.
I know.
You're trash.
I like the,
Pumpkinhead's
I like
character
the Nun,
design is
though.
trash.
The Nun was one of my favorites, too.
Who?
The Nun.
Oh, the nun from. The
She's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's terrifying
She's
as
up there.
fuck.
Her design's really like terrifying. Yeah. Static.
But
I
then
want
again,
to
that's
say
like
Ultron, bro. I want to say
100
Ultron is a horror movie character now.
Static.
But then again,
Well,
Go ahead and say Scream.
It's scary to me.
so my top two that I got taken, which is Witchmaster and Jeepers Creepers. So my runner-up would be Stripe from Gremlins.
Nice. That's a good one.
The lead Gremlin.
I
From
forgot.
the-
From the first movie. So the first movie was supposed to be a horror.
No, man, the Spider Gremlin, bro.
Yeah.
The Spider Gremlin definitely.
That's number 2, though.
Creepy as hell.
You just don't like spiders, nigga.
I don't either.
I mean, who really does though? Like that's shit.
I ain't scared of a bird, but a little spider's gonna make me jump, dude.
Oh my God! So we got Mr. Generic.
Oh no! You know
over
what?
there.
All right.
You know who's really creepy? There's a movie. Oh man, what is it called, bro? There's a movie where like this mom, there was an accident or whatever,
Oh,
and her son has a book, and there's that character's pretty creepy.
You said from what?
The Babadook.
Oh, Babadook.
Yeah, Babadook. Yeah.
See, I think I have to choose a really generic one as well, and I don't know why, but see Michael Myers, I don't know what it is about him, but he creeps me the fuck out. Like,
Oh no, you're sexually attracted to Michael Myers. Shut up.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
dead on.
Anytime someone says Michael Myers, it's a sexual attraction. That has nothing to do with this nigga's
Okay,
accomplishments as a
So
murderer.
here's my thing. Maybe y'all can clear this up for me. I literally see no difference between Jason and Michael Myers.
Hold on. Well, can we get to that after Jordan finishes and I still have to say mine?
We know your scars.
I
Scream.
don't know what it is about Michael Myers because, like, I don't think Halloween, like the Halloween movies, are scary in the slightest. But I literally have nightmares about Michael Myers, and I don't know. What it is.
They're the
How
same.
old are you? Oh my God.
Right, because I can't have a nightmare at like 20 dead on Georgie fucking sucks
But
in
they're
hell.
the
Okay. I'm gonna do my favorite. I'm gonna do 2, but they're my favorites, so I don't think they're that scary. I don't think there's not many that
Scream.
are scary though. No, Georgie, get out. My number 1 favorite is Jason Voorhees.
Right.
He's.
Wow.
I mean, my favorite genre is slasher, so I mean, who better than Jason Voorhees? Then my runner-up is the Xenomorphs from the Alien movies. Those things are fucking scary, dude. If I saw one of those in real life, I'd just snap my own neck, dude. You can't do nothing against that.
Okay.
I mean, still gonna try. Fuck.
No way. I don't want to become one of those motherfucking things, dude. Just kill me.
They do some pretty fucked up stuff in the comics, like, and funny enough, Marvel's getting the crossover thing with them in like 2 weeks or something, isn't it?
Which is dumb if they do it the actual way. Oh yeah, let's have Black Panther go against the Xenomorph. Like that's gonna last more than 2 seconds.
Yeah, literally in
How about the X-Men? That's gonna last what? Like 2, like a stare? Like
Even Captain America.
Like,
Oh yeah, let me just shield.
like,
Shield.
there's a variant of Thor taking them on as well. Like, what are you doing? But
Yeah, the Thor with just
How
a
many can his hammer kill in one
blade.
throw?
He didn't even try. He was just like, no.
yeah.
Like, bruh, like, come on.
Okay, Andrew, you were about to turn to static there about saying Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees there's no difference between them. Go get them. Jump them.
Why? I want to know why you think there's no difference. You just think they're the same?
Like the only thing different between the two is like the mask, and one is afraid of water. Like
Well, that's a
literally,
misconception.
that's
He
literally
lives in the water, so.
You said what?
That's a misconception. He lives in the water sometimes. He uses the water to his advantage. That shit in Freddy vs. Jason was a fluke, dude. That don't count.
It really didn't make sense in Freddy vs. Jason because he was scared of water through the whole movie, and then at the end of the movie, he walked out the water with Freddy's head.
Exactly. Thank you, George.
It made no sense.
See, you can't trust Static because his head is currently, like that scene where Freddy takes as a caterpillar and he takes a hit of that hookah with that stoner in Freddy vs. Jason. That's Static's head when it comes to horror movies.
I asked up front, what's the difference between the two, really? Like,
Okay. I'll just give you the most basic, like the real answer though is Michael Myers is just a deranged, psychopathic stalker who's after his sister, and is just a stalker. That's pretty much all Michael Myers is. Jason Voorhees, on the other hand, is currently, and after the 6th movie, he became a supernatural being that lives at Crystal Lake, and if you go there, he's going to kill you because you go there. He's not a stalker. He's not a real person. Michael Myers is just a dude, even though he survived some ridiculous shit. Jason Voorhees is a supernatural being at this point.
I thought that last Michael Myers movie made it clear that he had like demons in him or something.
Yeah, like he was like.
No, so like in Michael Myers and Curse of Michael Myers, they were trying to say that he was cursed to be like this like crazy thing, like all this crazy cult shit, and then that led on into like the 5th movie, and then they wiped that timeline, and then they brought in Resurrection and H2O and stuff, and then that timeline got wiped, and we're just meant to assume that the one that was brought out by James Cameron, isn't it James Cameron that did it? Yeah, James Cameron with the new one is like that's the good timeline. That's the one we talk about where he's just a normal dude that really likes stalking people.
He's so dedicated to his stalker killing mentality that he can survive shit. It's not that he's not possessed by nothing. He's just he's that devoted is what it is.
Isn't stalking like a trope of a typical horror like protagonist?
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna have to fact check that when we get done with this, because I'm pretty sure that the latest movies like had something about satanic, sadistic shit that was going on with the character.
See, basically, I think you might be thinking of like the Rob Zombie ones where they try. Yeah, I think like that one there. I think you're thinking of the Rob Zombie one where it's like they're trying to say like the devil lives inside them or the evil. Like
that's all I remember. I remember the last one I saw, like it had like the satanic writing on the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah, like what do you call it? It was always like the Rob Zombie ones get on like it. Like he has that stuff. Like literally the only thing that took him down in that movie series was like a whole SWAT team and a sniper taking him out. But like with the current timeline and stuff, he literally is just some crazy stalker that's like really devoted into getting some people. But yeah. So now that that's out of the way.
Like I'm pretty sure Michael Myers and Jason like share a jumpsuit. I'm pretty sure they do.
Jason's had quite a few outfits. Michael Myers has pretty much only ever worn.
I'm pretty sure in between movies they hand their jumpsuit off to one another and take time.
You stupid.
You are so disrespectful.
Like I just don't understand the difference between the two. Really, I just don't.
No, let's ask the serious question, right? Andrew, how is Jason your favorite horror movie antagonist if you've watched Jason in Manhattan and Jason XXX?
Fun fact, Jason in Manhattan is my favorite one.
I think it's just called Jason X.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called Jason X.
Is it
Just
Jason?
Jason
I don't know what you watch, Thor. I don't know what Jason you watch, but I'm pretty sure it was Jason X.
That's one of those. That's one of those memes where I think I picked the wrong Jason movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what website you went through to see that for free, but I'm pretty sure it was right.
I mean, like, I'm fine either way. No, but like, come on, like Jason in Manhattan.
Oh my God, here we go.
Jason in Manhattan. Like, come on now, Chief. What are you
I
doing?
love it, dude. I just love it. I love slashers, and I don't care how cheesy they are. The thing that Friday the 13th movies had good though was Tom Savini and practical effects, and that shit makes a movie right there.
You know,
If you're watching a slasher, I don't want to watch some CGI blood. I want to watch Jason just straight cut someone in half and watch it just ooze, dude.
see, the thing that Jason in Manhattan gets wrong, right, is he never encounters somebody like Mike or Jared. Like, what is he gonna do against that kind of person? And then Tim's, man, like, disrespect in Manhattan. Come on. I'm glad nobody laughed at that. It's gonna seem really awkward in the podcast. Thank you guys. What's everyone's favorite horror movie?
Man.
What's everyone's favorite horror movie?
Favorite
Mine-
horror movie?
Mine
Age
would
of,
have to be.
Age of Ultron.
Don't talk.
Oh, stop it.
Jim Ultron. That's my choice too.
No, mine. Hold on. Did we just have a connection issue here?
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, I think we're back.
Okay, there we go. Mine would be.
Moment.
Oh, dang, it was just on the tip of my tongue. Fuck.
You had all this time to get your shit together.
No, I had it, but that connection issue fucked up my head.
We're doing favorite movie, right, or worst?
Favorite.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I forgot. Go ahead. I'll come back to me. Fuck.
Okay.
Silence of the Lambs and the Nun.
You just went for the exact. Okay. Georgie, what about you?
I think I'm gonna have to circle back to Paranormal Activity. I really, really like that series.
The first
Man,
one?
You had one chance to get into heaven and
Yeah,
you wasted it.
the first one for sure.
No, in all seriousness, for me though, it's Wishmaster. The first Wishmaster, hands down.
Why is it Wishmaster? Because it sort of turned into like a cheeseball movie, like right after that one.
No, the second one was good too because it had the same guy, but then it's the ones that came after that kind of went into like a weird situation. But nonetheless, like the first one mainly because of the dude who plays Wishmaster, he fit the role. Like that dude's creepy. Period. In anything you ever seen him in, that dude's creepy. And then his voice was perfect. He brought that character to life, man. But there's a scene in this scene where he gives the chick one free wish, right? And that whole speech is to this day one of the best things I've ever seen in a movie. Period. You know, when she wishes him to blow his brains out, and he just does it. You know, he just straight up does it, and then he talks as his skull is coming back together. Especially for the time that movie came out, amazing, absolutely amazing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna share it to the admin chat when we're done.
What do you call it, Andrew? What about you? You're a big horror enthusiast. Concerned you have like a bunch of horror movies behind you. What's your favorite?
That's a hard one for me. I'm gonna have to pull a magic here, and I'll give you a few, just some of my favorites. Surprisingly, none of the Friday 13th movies make my top list, but my favorites are the original Scream, the original Child's Play when it was actually serious and not just whatever it turned into.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go with that.
It Follows was a really good newer one.
It Follows pretty good.
And then, I had one more, but I can't remember it. I don't know. Those three, though, are up there for me, for sure.
What about you, Sally? Static, what about you?
Oh, okay.
Whenever you're ready, Static.
I ain't hear it, man. No, it popped back in my head though. My favorite would be American Werewolf in London.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good one.
Just
Yo, I want to watch that now that I'm older. I
Yeah,
remember
like-
wanting to watch that when I was younger, and I only saw like pieces of it. Now that I'm older, I'm actually going to pull that up. Yeah,
Yeah, like-
I want to watch that.
the practical effects by that is probably the best practical effects I've seen in any movie or anything outside of like Michael Jackson Thriller. Like
Static, say that title one more time.
American Werewolf in London.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check that
Yeah,
out
I'm
too.
having audio issues with Static too. I can barely hear.
Yeah, like I hear you, Static, with a little like.
One of my most favorite recent ones, because there is so many that I like. I'm just gonna go with like recent ones that I've watched that I've really, really enjoyed that are already at the top of my list. Has anyone watched the sci-fi horror movie Life? It's got Ryan Reynolds. Fuck,
I need to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
who do you call him? Ryan Reynolds. How can I forget his name? It's the
Jake
company-
Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal. There we go. That's the one. I completely forgot his name. It's a really good horror movie. Like, it's just like, I don't know what it is. I think it's just like the atmosphere. It kind of reminds me of Alien, but it's a bit more grounded, I guess. It's just, yeah. Okay. Time to go on to like everyone's least favorite horror movies. Like, you can include B movies if you want, because they are like there's a lot.
Oh,
of
God.
Magic, what's your least favorite horror movie?
Least favorite? I've been waiting for this list.
Oh, God. It's.
Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers is the worst fucking horror movies ever.
Oh,
Fucking
yeah.
man.
Man,
absolute
Man.
fucking garbage. Just fuck.
Joey is banned.
Actually, probably the Freddy Krueger is probably Freddy Krueger. All them movies is fucking trash.
Wow, Magic is banned.
Dang, that's a
Fucking
bold
banned.
statement.
I know. Wow, that's a bold
I
statement.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, fucking trash. Especially got worse as it got older. I was just like, what the entirety of thoughts.
How are you gonna wake up when he's in your dream, Magic? I just want to know your plan of waking up.
Oh my.
I
Ain't no-
gotta know.
Ain't no need for a fucking plan. It's just, oh, this nigga in my dream, nigga, you can't control my dream. The fuck? Fuck out of here.
Shield.
Exactly. Shield. Fuck outta
That's
here.
not fair, Magic. You don't like the Freddy Krueger movies because you're a strong-willed black man. That's not fair. That doesn't make for good horror movies.
Shit. I'm also not dumb either. Oh, I'm a trip and fall. Fuck.
How do you trip and fall in a dream? Like, damn.
I bet you a white woman would find a way. But anyways. Moving on.
That's
Where the hell
not
Static go?
fair, man. Them Freddy Krueger movies is too good, man.
Man.
Hey, you know what? There was I remember when Blockbuster was still around, right? I remember when
Yeah.
Blockbuster was still around and they were doing like these Halloween movie collection specials.
Mm-hmm. And yeah.
They used to have like this like, I don't know if it was like promo back then. I don't know what the proper term would be, but basically there was these movies they would promote that were like old 80s and early 90s movies or whatever. And there was a movie I never got to see that was like about a tree. Have any of you ever seen it? It was like a tree that had like children in it. I remember one of the promotions in the Blockbuster trailer was that the tree had a springing basically, and the springing was pretending to be like a babysitter, and it was going to take the lady's kid and put it in the tree. It was the creepiest shit ever, bro. Like, it was all practical effects. It was almost as creepy as everything you see in the Dark Crystal. But I always wanted to see it. I just never knew what the name was.
Oh, another one is that fucking movie where the plant is evil and eats people.
Ours is not a horror movie.
There.
It's a musical. Don't do this.
No, the worst horror movie that I've ever spent money on was that stupid ass My Bloody Valentine 3D.
Oh,
The
God.
remake?
You actually paid for that?
Yo, I paid to go see that shit in 3D, and it was the worst effects in 3D. It was the worst storyline. I mean, what the fuck? Everybody tripped every 5 minutes, white or black. That was the crazy thing about the movie. Every race was falling. It was ridiculous.
Oh, God. You actually took that movie seriously?
No, I didn't. After the first 2.5 minutes, I realized that this was a fucking joke of a movie.
Jesus Christ.
What about
You,
you?
you had to see that with your wife, didn't you?
No,
Your wife
surprisingly,
talked
this was before I was even married. I think I was like 16 or something when that
That
movie
sounds like
came
the
saw this by
scariest movie
yourself,
you've
so
ever
you
been a
really
part
a
of
fool.
getting married, boy.
out.
Oh, so you saw this by yourself, so you was really a fool. Okay. I
Not
got
me
you.
and my cousin. It was me and my cousin. But yeah, two fools.
Yeah, you try to make excuses. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Static, what about you? What's your least favorite horror movie?
So my least favorite horror movie, it's in between two of them. It's in between that Kane one, See No Evil.
Okay.
Which one?
Kane the wrestler. He did a horror movie called See No Evil.
Okay.
Oh wow,
Oh God.
the worst.
Uh,
Wow.
that and Tales from the Hood or Leprechaun in the Hood.
Leprechaun.
God damn it! Why do you have to say Tales from the Hood?
But that's not really a horror movie though. That's like a horror parody. And
Definitely.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
Okay, yeah, that I don't know about that one. That's a
That's
joke, bro. A friend with weed is a friend indeed.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even count that as a horror movie. I count that as a
I'm pretty sure it's classified as a horror.
Let me tell the truth right now. I have never even had the ambition to watch Leprechaun in the Hood.
Don't.
It's not that good. It's not that good.
But the
It's
one
funny.
in the Hood.
No,
That's-
what's the name of that? What is the name of that movie that just recently came out? It might be a thriller, not a horror movie, but it was a group of people that they were like in a fucking game, and they had to get through every room, and it was like a puzzle and shit.
Oh, are you
Talking about the escape room horror
That
movie?
was that's a thriller or a horror movie? That would be a thriller, right?
That's more of a psychological thriller, actually.
Okay then, but that was a good movie. I thought it would be considered like a subgenre of horror.
I think
I'm pretty sure you could probably file it under there, but I think that's more psychological thriller.
Yes, Leprechaun in the Hood is a horror / fantasy.
Wow.
Is that number 5? Is that
We're not
Leprechaun
talking about
5?
Leprechaun in the Hood. We're not talking. Where'd you get that from?
We're talking
No,
about escape room.
No. Because when I mentioned Leprechaun in the Hood, he said that it's not a. He don't think it's a horror.
I still don't. I don't give a damn what Wikipedia says. That's just a horror parody.
It's horror fantasy.
Let me go check that Wikipedia. That shit's gonna say updated by admin static 5 minutes ago.
I think my least favorite horror movie is. Does anyone watch the House of Wax movie with Paris Hilton in it?
Oh God! These are movies that I forgot for a reason.
See, I thought the
Exactly.
first one was decent, dude. I thought it was okay at bottom. I thought it was like a 5, just a solid 5.
Is it really?
You know what's a really fucked up set of movies? Hostel.
Hostel.
Uh huh.
Oh, okay. Those are all right.
Fucked up set of movies, man. Really?
Hostel?
No. Hostel
Here's
and
that-
the Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah,
Yo.
here's that.
Oh God! Ugh.
Okay, look at that.
That beginning scene will always fuck me up.
When I saw Hostel, like it made me like even double down on saying like
That
I'm
does
not
have
going.
eyes.
Like I'm not going to Germany. I'm not going to go to Frankfurt, business. Like I'm not
I said the same thing.
like
Yo,
I
what's
saw the
funny is
movie.
I
I was
haven't
like,
heard
Europe.
nobody
I'm
bring
never
up
going to
Saw.
Europe.
Nobody likes
Yeah.
Saw. I haven't heard nobody mention Saw.
Saw is like a really.
I was actually going to use that as one of my least favorites. I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
Saw-
really?
Saul started.
Saw is like it was a good movie that killed itself. So
Yeah,
like,
it started
when
off.
you talk about Saw, like it goes from being like what it initially was, the feeling you initially got from it, to like the feeling it left you with, and that's just
Yeah.
my perception of like how people
Yeah.
Right.
think of Saw.
Saw started off.
Yeah, it
Saul
started off great because it was like almost like real life scenarios where
Yeah.
people had like some revenge shit, and then it just got into. And the problem is it did what every movie does. It oversaturated itself, and
It basically-
fucking every year you knew there was gonna be a Saw movie, and every year it got more and more ridiculous.
Mhm.
It started basically it went from like an actual
like kind of a horror series to like I don't know Jedi Masters trying to deliver justice.
You know what I'd love to see though? I would love to see a new Clue movie. I would love to see like a purely dark Clue movie made, you know, in this day and age.
I mean, didn't we get that? Didn't we get that with Knives Out?
Knives Out wasn't dark. That was a dark comedy.
Yeah, that was a dark comedy. That wasn't dark horror. Still a good movie though. I love Knives Out. Still a good movie though.
Are you gonna keep chewing on the goddamn cow? Like, I was trying to.
He's doing that shit on purpose. He's doing that shit on purpose.
I was trying not to say nothing.
I knew it. I was like, I'm gonna break that nigga static. I was just staring at the screen.
He said, I'm gonna break that nigga static.
Yeah, I tried to look away and shit. I was like, okay, leave me look away for a second.
I was like, I'm gonna get that nigga with these light skinned nigga smacks.
Andrew, what's your least favorite horror movie?
You okay over
Saw's up there, but I think my least favorite is probably Halloween 3, The Curse of the Witch, or whatever the fuck it was called. I don't know how that made it into such a big franchise called Halloween, but that movie was trash.
Because John Carpenter wanted Halloween to be, what do you call it, an anthology series, but since Michael Myers did so well, they wanted a sequel, and then he wanted to go keep the anthology series, and everyone was like, it's trash, it doesn't have Michael Myers in it. And it was a really mediocre horror movie. Like, it wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was just everyone wanted Michael.
Right. I'm also not a huge fan of the original Friday the 13th either, though, with his mom as the killer. I'm not a huge fan of that one, to be honest with you, though. I didn't think it was... Everyone says that's, like, you know, one of the best ones, but it doesn't even... I mean, Jason's not even the killer, and everyone thinks he is in that movie, and it's just kind of stupid. Like, I get what the director was doing, but I don't know, it just didn't pay out for me.
I didn't care. You know what's really good to me? The video game. And the video game is good in a weird way. It's not the game itself that's great. It's the lobby. Like, hearing people freak out in the lobby is the funniest shit, bro. It's always some kid in there that's like, he's gonna kill me! It's like, duh, that's what you came to play for! I love the game, though. The game is awesome. Because it's based on, the reason I bring it up, because it's based on the first movie, you know, there at the camp and so on and so forth.
Like, I think another movie I thought was pretty bad was I never cared for Jaws 3. Like the third Jaws, I just did not like.
Hey, what's the name of them crocodile movies that you have put me on to?
I'm about to say, who counts the third and fourth Jaws?
Movies.
That's what I was going to count on my favorites was Jaws 1, by the way. That was going to be one of my other favorite horror movies, because I know it's barely, but it is still kind of horror.
Have any of you guys seen the movies Lake Placid with the crocodiles?
Yeah, the first one was okay, and then after
those
that,
are pretty good movies.
It's one of my favorite movies, just in general. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just watched it so much as a child. I loved it so much. Okay. What about everyone's favorite TV series, like everyone's favorite horror TV series? There isn't a lot, so there isn't like...
There's not.
Yeah, but like there is...
Yeah,
like,
I'm about to say.
there is some like ones you can like straight up name, like Raised by Wolves is one. Walking Dead counts because it was...
Walking Dead.
Like, it was meant to be a horror.
Oh man, The Walking Dead is such a garbage fucking series.
No, it's not. You stop it.
It oversaturated itself, like Magic said, like everything else, nigga.
I watched 8 episodes of The Walking Dead, and I remember everyone being like, "No, you have to see more of it." After 8 episodes, that shit is garbage. Like, no, you wouldn't fucking eat a hot dog that's been sitting under the fucking stove for 3 months. Like, what the fuck? You don't continue to eat it because eventually it'll be a hot dog again.
You don't know what you're gonna eat in a zombie apocalypse.
Debatable, nigga.
No, said debatable.
I do.
To be fair though, Joey's biased because he really hates zombies. So
I don't like zombie movies. That's a fact. I don't like zombie movies. The concept of zombies to me in all science fiction is stupid. I'm not with the zombie thing. But I can appreciate those old zombie movies like those classic zombie movies like Night of the Living Dead and stuff like those things were mad creepy, right?
Yo,
But
Dawn of the Dead was good too.
The original one, yeah.
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead was great.
That's probably my favorite zombie movie ever.
Mm.
I don't know if
So,
anyone's watched it.
I appreciated 28 Days Later because like the concept of zombies running is horrifying to me. Like that is horrifying. Just zombies just walking around and stuff like that. Like I'm like, okay, cool, I can run down the street and be okay for a little bit. But them things on 28 Days Later, they just run and they don't stop.
I can't
Yeah.
remember.
I can't get with the zombie thing, man. Like I don't know why. I can get with a vampire, but I can't get with a zombie. I can get with a werewolf, but I can't get with a zombie. Like the fact that you're telling me that thing has rigor mortis and it's moving, I just can't. It doesn't make sense to me.
It has rigor mortis.
What do you call it? I can't remember much about 28 Days Later, but did the virus bring back the dead? I thought it was just people got really, 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 really mad because of a monkey.
It was a rabies zombie cross hybrid disease thing.
What you talking about?
Like it was a what do you call it? Like it was like a rabies thing. Like I don't think it brought back the dead. It was just normal people going into an insane rage.
What are you talking about though?
The 28 days later.
Yeah.
Oh, 28 Days Later. Yeah. Well, no, in the second one, it was the one person who had it spread it again.
Nice. Love it. Okay.
TV horror for me is American Horror Story. The first four until fucking Freak Show. No, I like no, because it had because now it was Murder House, Asylum, Coven, and then Freak Show, and then the hotel was after Freak Show.
Yeah, and then it's when
Hotel was gross. That shit disgusting. Don't count.
My favorite one I watched Asylum, but no, then it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, now mine is Coven.
I like Murder House.
I really enjoyed the horror series The Terror. Has anyone watched it yet? It's based off a book, and it's actually like a real thing that happened. Basically, it's about like these people trying to find like this channel. Like it's like I think it was like the 18th century or something. They're trying to find like a channel for like this icy way, and as they're journeying, like everything is like it's like basically like they're trying to get on like everything, and it's like and its cars trying to stop them from finding this passageway. The tin food that they brought has been rotten because it wasn't sealed right. Engines aren't working. Like the ice keeps on freezing over on them, and then in the book and in the TV show, it says like there's like a monster hunting them. It's kind of like a crossbreed between a polar bear and a wendigo in the TV series and the book. And it's just like really like intimidating and scary because like this thing actually happened. It's a bit fabricated some of the story because we don't know the whole thing, but like it was all based off real stuff that happened. Like I'm pretty sure like there was a news thing that happened about it in like 2019 or something about them finding like the wreckage of the Terror. But no, it's just like a really good TV series as a whole.
Apparently, Lovecraft Country is considered horror.
I mean, you could consider it. I mean, like it's all right. I think it's I guess it's considered a horror because like basically Lovecraft stuff is like horror based, but like watching it, I didn't get scared of it at all. It's kind of like a thriller mostly. Like there's dark parts to it, but
I think
I was thinking Lovecraft got worse as it went on.
I think a good horror that doesn't really get enough credit is called Feast.
Feast? Oh no, not Feast.
Yeah, Feast. I think it was done by like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck or something like that.
It was.
Yeah. I thought that was a good one.
I thought you were going to say The Color Purple.
You might well say one of the greatest horror movies of all time, right?
If The Color Purple don't scare you, I don't know what will, man.
I like for TV series though. My favorite is the Slasher show on Netflix. It's called Slasher. There's like 3 seasons now. It's pretty good. It's like a Canadian anthology series, like American Horror Story. Every season's about something else, but it's just different murders and stuff, and you got to figure out who the killer is and all that.
I'm gonna say series-wise, it has to be Monsterland right now. Monsterland is killing it.
Is that
Monsterland is basically like a play on like everyday struggles people have, and then it's flipped on its head, obviously, to tell some kind of like horrible turnout. Like, basically, there's like one story where this billionaire, allows his oil company to basically go it was against OSHA. Let's put it like that, right? It wasn't up to code, and so he has a huge case coming up, as we see in the media all the time, right? There's a huge case coming up, but somehow this leads him into a church. That leads him into trying to figure out if he's spiritual or not. And then the dude ends up literally becoming a conduit for God. But the spin is that God is the devil, right? And so he actually has a conversation with these people. And he's like, there was always a sign. There was always a sign that the end was coming. And he mentions all these things, obviously, that we deal with in day-to-day life, that's really fucked up, the way that we live. And just when they think, the twist is that they're reaching through to the guy and talking to the man himself, this God character allows them to believe that, and then a whole like oily a pelican like just comes right through the dude's guts and bursts out of the top floor of this like of this loft. It's crazy, but all the stories are like a nexus, so one thing leads to the other story, even though they're all different, and the way that they tell the story, they mention a person's name and then say what state he's from.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like Sierra of Texas, right, and then it's Matthew of Oregon, and so on and so forth. It's really fucked up, man. But it's the best creepy thing I've seen as of late.
I'm actually surprised nobody brought up the Twilight Zone.
What's it called again, Joey? Say the title one more time.
It's called Monsterland.
Okay.
Matter of fact, Luke Cage was just in the last episode I saw. I don't know what the actual actor's name is, but
I know what you meant.
Fans of him, that dude from Halo was in the last episode.
Imagine Luke Cage just showing up in Monsterland.
My favorite, I think my favorite horror TV show, I'll probably have to go with Tales of the Crypt.
I thought you were going to say Roots. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, wow.
Nah.
All right.
Tales from the Crypt and Dragon Ball.
No, man, I think you're right, bro. Tales from the Crypt. I can't believe I didn't mention that. And I'm really disappointed because I was looking forward to watching the M. Night Shyamalan version.
Yeah,
and I haven't seen one episode.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of it?
No, I don't even think they did it.
Oh, I thought they had already filmed it, and then it was only on like TNT or something.
No, I don't even think they did it.
Dang.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Tales of the Crypt, and I would say no. Tales of the Hood, but no.
Oh, there's a new one of those. There's a new Tales from the Hood.
Yeah, it went direct.
Have any of y'all seen it? Have any of
They
y'all?
still got that creepy ass ugly nigga doing the narration.
I don't know. I didn't even watch the first one as a whole thing. When I first saw Tales from the Hood, it was all over my lifetime. It's always been like I see this part, this part, this part, this part. I think the only one I ever saw the full story of was the Gargoyle, and that was about it.
Yeah, so
You ain't
yeah,
missing nothing.
for TV shows, I would have to go with Tales of the Crypt. Tales of the Crypt was just, it was one of those, like, even as a kid, I would sit down and late at night, like, I gotta watch Tales of the Crypt. Like, it was just, I don't know, it was just good for me. The storytelling, the host, like, it was just, it was just good. Right, like, back then, for me, what Tales of the Crypt was then is American Horror Story now.
I don't know, man. Back in the day, the only creepy show I remember on TV was America's Most Wanted. The amount of black men that came up on that.
All right, Joey.
Yeah, I can
All
see
right,
that.
so Roots,
Oh, they can't
Cops,
see this. Yeah, they
uh,
can't see.
Most Wanted.
America's Most Wanted. We got all the horror shows out the
Wow.
way.
Shit.
Yeah.
No,
Jordan, you're
no.
silent. Can't
What
hear
about
you.
you, Georgie? What about you? I never heard you mention your favorite. Why not Scooby Doo so many times?
I have two favorites. Y'all already said one, but the second one, I know y'all gonna laugh, but Tales from the Crypt was my original answer. But more recently, that spin-off show of what's that stupid ass movie called? What the show?
Curious George.
No. Girl, what's the name of that show we was watching?
Oh shit. This nigga
The
done
Purge.
got
The Purge TV show.
They had a TV show?
They have a
they got a
TV
TV
show, and it's
show.
actually really good, surprisingly. I didn't think it was going to be, but it's better than the movie, in my opinion.
anything that they can, almost anything that they can expand on will be better than the movie. You're able to expand on it more.
But it was like the storyline that they put behind it, like, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it had to do with these nuns, basically, but they were, like, evil, and their religion
That was one of the stories.
Yeah, you remember what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm. The Blue Nuns.
And they brought them in to be killed, and they had to kill themselves. It was some wild shit, but it was just all good for me. I loved it. I thought that was a great horror
so
show.
what are horror movies that you guys saw and then like the ending just went horribly wrong? Right? Like it started out really strong and then the ending just failed.
Saw.
The last few Saw movies.
Yeah. God damn, that was a unanimous vote. Next question.
I'm gonna say for me, what was it called? The Wicker Man? The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage. It was so good, and then the ending was so cringy. It was so bad.
You saw him inside the giant.
That scene where the truck just comes out of nowhere creeped me out the first time I saw it, and then everything else that happened in the movie was really like on the edge, and then at the end it was just like trash.
Let's see. The last few Saws, Freddy versus Jason, the last few Paranormal Activities.
I got a quick question. Since we're all in the superhero community, is there any villains, cinematic wise or in the comics, that you think would be perfect for a horror movie?
Superman.
Who did you say, Static?
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow?
Yeah.
Scarecrow is basically your awake version of Freddy.
Okay.
Let's see. Poison Ivy. I think Calendar Man would be a perfect horror thriller movie. The Joker if they actually do them right.
Carnage.
Carnage or Venom, honestly.
Let's see. Hold on.
I thought we were talking horror movies, not horrible movies.
Honestly, I would say the Riddler. If the right person wrote him right, the Riddler could be a terrifying character.
Let's see.
Well, the Riddler is basically Saul.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Thanos.
Yeah,
you're good. Anybody play Left 4 Dead?
Nobody mentioned Pinhead either, I realized.
Hellraiser?
Okay, yeah.
When you're a found footage movie.
Very attractive white girl.
Can you please rephrase the question, Jordan?
I don't want people to get the wrong impression that I'm being like overtly racial to get a laugh or a chuckle. I'm dead serious. So again, that movie that I think you all should watch. It's a really good movie. I'll get the title for y'all and I'll post it in the admin chat. But the movie that had Alexandria in it, right? Oh man, just saying her name. Anyway, like the movie that she was just in. Look how attractive she was and how crazy she was. Like, no, absolutely not. Every movie with a chick like that, no, no, absolutely not.
But they say it's good. They say it's good.
Y'all see his face? He was so serious. That's not.
But then you can become one of them and do it to other people.
Somebody's going to see this and be mad that we didn't mention the Hellraisers not one time.
I mean, Hellraiser.
They're just in the middle, dude. They're
because
not.
if we were
It's
talking
not great
about
or
movie
awful.
concepts, like horror movie concepts, Hellraiser would be at the top for me. That box is really. I think that's a great concept. So
being in a Left 4 Dead scenario or having to be able to escape from Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Yeah, we seen what he did to the last black man.
Piggybacking off of what Garo's been saying, have this thing being in a slasher situation, because 9 times out of 10 you get cut up, but you don't die. You die bleeding out, so you feel everything.
Georgie, the way that you do FaceTimes, you definitely would be in the fucking like found footage situation. You always like.
I think they're over here, guys. Over here.
George like one of those fucking pelicans.
I'm alert. I'm watching everything around me and y'all.
For me, the worst situation would probably be dealing with the fucking face suckers and Alien. Alien. The face suckers. Yeah. Like I don't need. Yeah.
Fuck being in space. No, fuck being in space in its entirety.
Right, exactly. Fuck all that.
I can't. It's that or.
So, Magic, is that your thing? You don't want to be against the background, anything darker than you?
You're probably right. No, I can't see my shit.
Because the thing about it is, it clamping around your face. Like none of us would even take like a spider just crawling across our face and sleep will wake up be fucking tripping out and everything like that. Like just imagine.
So basically, your biggest fear is a hand with a dick on it.
Oh, wow.
Oh man, you made him leave the chat. And he's back.
My bad. Just that little bug just crawling on your face, like everybody in here will freak the fuck out. So like, you can't tell me a big old this xenomorphic spider thing with a scorpion tail is on your face, up in your face, and then leaves a spawn in your stomach for you to be alive to burst out of.
I don't know, man. I think I'd do it just so women couldn't tell me I know nothing about birth.
Wow.
All right, for me, it's definitely.
I'm just trying to win an argument here, man.
Have y'all ever seen the movie? Have y'all ever seen the movie The Shallows with Blake Lively?
Yeah.
A while ago, but yeah.
If I was on that little rock in that water, dude, that's my least. I would be done. That would be the scariest for me, though, just to know that there's a giant shark that is just waiting for me.
How did he survive again?
She was
man.
smart.
I think the thing that would truly scare me the most is to be in a situation like, hey, Thor, what's the name of that title, bro? Colorado what? No, the Lovecraft movie. It has Nicolas Cage in it. We talked about it not that long ago. So I think in a situation like that, that would truly creep me out. I'm not creeped out by like things that I know are predatory. You know what I mean? But conceptual things like H.P. Lovecraft concepts, those things would freak me the fuck out, man.
Melt
Absolutely.
your mind.
Yes.
You telling me a giant worm with arms, yo? Like that would freak me out, bro. Like
I'm just accepting my death at that point.
Yo, like
like having like also too like having to walk through like you trying to escape something, you walking through this corridor and then you get to the corridor and aliens with like it's just eggs everywhere.
No,
just, like
that too. No,
and your only way out is through that fucking corridor with all these eggs. Like that shit.